Hi everyone, welcome into Siren Records Monterey. I've kind of moved my location again. I'm just, I keep sitting in different seats just, to see where, maybe my lighting could be better, my sound, whatever. Anyway, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you had a good Black Friday experience too. But now that all that's behind us, there's less new releases coming out. A lot of artists don't like to release product right at the end of the year, but there are still some, and there's some great new releases and reissues for today. And we'll just give you a sampling of some. We won't sit here all night long, but my pick for you this week is the great Chicano Batman. It's called Invisible People, and this comes to us from the Universal Music Group. Now, they had a very critically acclaimed debut in 2017 called Freedom is Free, if you remember. It was a great album. And this is the follow-up to that. They're an LA-based quartet. The guys are Eduardo Arenas, Carlos Arevalo, Bardo Martinez, and Gabriel Villa. So they're following up. This album is much more sonically varied, and it's more cohesive, you'll find, but still got the really great groove that they put out before. It's kind of nice to hear something a little, more breezy and uplifting these days. And it made me feel like it was summer again. It was really good. But it's that kind of West Coast psychedelia married with the late 60s, early 70s soul. And it's pressed here on translucent pink vinyl, and this time it's mixed by this guy who's a Grammy Award-winning engineer. His name's Sean Everett, and he's worked with people like Beck and Alabama Shakes, and this it really comes through very well on this. It's not overly slick, but it's a really great album, and I really was glad to have this come in today. So that's my pick. The second one that I want to mention to you is by Tasha, and this one is called Tell Me What You Miss the Most. It's on Father-Daughter Records. This is her second album, and when she came out with her debut, she'd really only been writing songs for a short amount of time, so this shows a lot of growth. She is born and raised in Chicago. She kind of pays a lot of attention to songs that are, loving and longing. She takes that very seriously, but it's not that she stays and just dwells in the misery of breakup, but there's also very light, beautiful moments of like a new interest and somebody new. So she kind of goes through all of that and takes you on this lovely journey. And although she, has nothing to do with, like, say, having a French accent, or she's not jazz. This just gave me that vibe of like the Astrid Gilberto stuff, where it's just this like lovely female vocal and really beautifully done. So anyway, great album, good for Tasha. This is very joyful, and it's just crafted in a way that it's a real breath of fresh air that's kind of needed right now too. So I found like two very kind of up and pleasant albums for my picks this week, and would recommend both of those. They were really good. So I was real happy with that. This morning, that's one of our guys here, Tyler, played that Tasha for me, and it was like, yeah, this is great. Okay, so to get on with it, this is The Armed, and this is called Ultra Pop, and it comes to us on what they're calling Galaxy Orange vinyl. This is on Sargent House. This is, let's see, he's a Detroit, they are a Detroit post-hardcore collective, and they've kind of been anonymous, but a little less so now. Like, I think on their latest video, there's 8 members, and they're all like these real sort of handsome cut guys. But anyway, this is hardcore noise and pop. It has an interesting thing. The Queens of the Stone Age's Troy Van Leeuwen, I hope I'm saying that name right, he plays the lead guitar on the song called Real Folk. And there's another track, The Music Becomes a Skull, and it is really defined by this guest voice of the great Mark Lanigan. So this has a kind of a few nice little surprises on it. That's pretty cool. Next up, we have Autechre Chiastic Slide, and this is on Warp Records. It's a reissue from 1997. It was their fourth studio album, and they're, if you don't know, they're like Brit Electronica. Okay, they're good. But anyway, that is a new reissue for us there. And another reissue is, well, hang on, before we get to that, there's a 7-inch, and this is Barry, and this is called Dig. It's on the Windspear label. Okay, so Barry was a band, and about their release was, I want to say it was a couple of years ago. Good record, but right after the record came out, like a month later, they disbanded. So Barry, I forget what her last name is. Ooh, Barry Lindsay. She decided to just make it into a solo project, and so this single is, yeah, it's really pretty great. It's actually. It's on clear vinyl, but anyway, in this time of, you know, everybody, you know, having these weird years, she lost a parent, she got married, but she doesn't normally, with the band Barry, you notice she didn't put a lot of her own personal emotions into the lyrics, but with this one she does, and it's just it's a real nice 7-inch, so looking forward to a full length at some point there. It's very nicely done. Okay, then here we go. This is another reissue, and this is Vic Chestnut. I think you might remember a few weeks ago we had a couple of these. Well, here's another one trickling in. This is West of Rome, and this is on silver lavender split colored vinyl. Okay, and this is from 1991, and it's a very very sparse skeletal pared down record. It's kind of, you know, he's this sort of great singer-songwriter with this sort of skewed take on Americana. It's very haunting, it's very funny and poignant, and he was that kind of a songwriter. So this is available now. Okay, then let me see this one. All right, this is Clever, and it's called Crazy. This is on Republic. Okay, this is a debut LP from this Alabama artist. Sorry about that glare. Okay, so he's got a lot of guests on here. It's got Lil Baby, Juice WRLD, and Post Malone on Life's a Mess, that single of theirs. It's got Lil Wayne and Chris Brown, and, you know, round up the usual suspects kind of thing, but apparently it's a very good debut, and this guy is now being called like the, he was like one of the best kept secrets, and no longer. Okay, so there you go. Then let's see, we have, all right, this is Spencer Cullum, and this is called Spencer Cullum's Coin Collection. Yeah, it's a limited edition green vinyl, and it's on Full-Time Hobby. Anyway, he's one of Nashville's most in-demand session players. He is like what you would call a pedal steel savant. But his home is London. He's you know, an English guy. But anyway, he's there, and it's this pays homage to like 60s and 70s psych and folk and prog and that kind of stuff. So there we go. All right, and then we have Delwater Gap, and this is self-titled. This is on light blue vinyl, and it's on Mom and Pop, and it's the solo project of songwriter-producer, and he currently resides in Brooklyn. It's alt indie stuff, but I want to say that Delwater Gap is there is a place in Delaware, the Delaware Water Gap. I don't know what the reference is there, but anyway, something about this also looks and seems familiar to me, like maybe we've had a cassette before. I don't know, because sometimes they all sort of like start to meld together, don't they? But I'm pretty sure that sounds familiar to me. Okay, this is interesting. This is The Doors' LA Woman, the 50th anniversary of this, and this is the deluxe edition of this that it's kind of hard for me to tell you what my notes say, plus show you the record, but anyway. Oh, cry me a river. Let's see, where was I? All right, 50th anniversary deluxe. It's got an LP and 3 CDs in this that'll tell you here up on the sticker as well. Anyway, what's in here? It is this is the Elektra catalog group. Anyway, it expands their 6th studio album with more than 2 hours of outtakes, demos, Anyway, it's been remastered, and it's on. It's numbered. It's a numbered limited edition. Original 1971 stereo mix, remastered on CD and 180 gram LP. Okay, and then it's got this 2 hours of newly remixed audio from the original multi-track session tapes. So you can experience the progression of each song as it developed in the studio. But anyway, it's a hefty little piece here. So, okay, that, hard to believe, 50th anniversary. God, crazy, huh? This is Garbage, Beautiful Garbage. It's the 20th anniversary of this one, too. And this one is on Geffen. It's the third studio album. It's from 2001. This album of theirs, it was more stronger melodies for them. It was better songwriting, more direct kind of lyrics, and it was mixing rock with electronica. So this is newly remastered audio on this, and it is on double heavyweight black vinyl, remastered from the original tapes. So, you know, those of you that don't really care for all the colored vinyl all the time, there's still some good stuff just, you know, being put out there on heavyweight vinyl on black. So it's still going on. Okay, now next up, this is going to be the Jerry Garcia Band anniversary. Which anniversary? Come on, which one is it? I'll figure it out in a minute. 5 LPs. This is on Round Records. Okay, since its release, it's now on vinyl for the very first time. It was their first live release. It was recorded in spring and summer of 1990 at the Warfield Theater in San Francisco. And, okay, so there's 2 versions of this. There's like just the regular box, and then the other one is, okay. See how this one is just kind of the yellow writing and all this? Okay, and it just says over 2 hours of electric Garcia, 5 LP box set featuring Deal, Waiting for a Miracle, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, and more rock classics. Okay, but then you can get it on this kind of extra special box. There's no different music. It's just that the box is, see how it's got this gold embossing over here along the artwork, and then the box itself, it feels like one of those canvas kind of things. What are they calling it? They're calling it, come on, textural wrap and stamping, foil stamping. So I don't know if it's really, you know, worth the extra money, because like I said, you're not really getting anything different. It's just a more deluxe box itself, and there's what the back looks like. Okay, so I guess, you know, for real purist type fans or hardcore fans, you might want the deluxe-y kind of box. I don't know. It's like, I'm not sure how that's going to go down, but, you know, anyway, it's that thing has sold, you know, it's the first time on vinyl. It used to be CD only. That thing has sold 360,000 CDs since its release. So, like I said, vinyl, first time, you know, live from 1990. Warfield, that's their, you know, kind of home stomping grounds, right? So, okay. This is Halo Benders, God Don't Make No Junk, and this is on K Records, I want to say. Is that right? Yeah, K Records. No, right. It's a 1994 reissue. And it's indie art punk. It's alternative, and you can get this. Oh, gosh, that glare. There's the cassette as well, okay? Also, another thing about that Halo Benders, it's a side project of the guy that's called Doug Marsh from Built to Spill. It was their first studio recording. Okay. This is Eddie Hazel, and this is called Game, Dames, and Guitar Things. It's on blue vinyl. It's on Real Gone Music, and this is from 1977. He was a funkadelic guitarist, and this is just like flat out incredible. It's a relatively obscure LP, but if you have friends that play guitar, or if you do, and you know, if anyone sort of mentions this album, people are like real, oh, because most people don't know about it. So if you do, it's kind of one of those, what are they calling it, like a secret handshake among Axemen, which I thought was kind of funny. Anyway, you have to think about this, like a guy who was in a band with George Clinton and Bootsy Collins at 17 years old, in 1967 when they were making music. This guy really had some chops, is all you can say. But anyway, this is 1977 solo LP from the Parliament Funkadelic guitarist Eddie Hazel. First time on colored vinyl on an electric blue pressing. But anyway, even if you're not familiar with this, if you have a guitar player in your life that you want to get them something special and something that they're really going to be impressed with, I'd say grab that. Okay, then what else have we got? Okay, this one. All right, this is Ice9 Kill's Every Trick in the Book. This was their 4th album. Each track on this LP is based on a piece of literature, which, kind of like the idea of that. These guys are very, heavy. This is on Fearless Records. And anyway, then now they've got this new record out today, too. And this one is called Welcome to Horrorwood, Silver Scream 2. And it's 2 LPs. It's on Spine Farm. And this pays tribute to 13 more of the most gruesome tales of the silver screen. And the storyline puts the band in a brutal real world slaying. And the only traces of the crime are 13 songs left behind by the suspected killer. So that's sort of the thing they're asking you to go with on this. I just like the creativity of that. And this is on VHS black vinyl. So what's VHS black vinyl? I don't know. It must be something. But anyway, down here it says your 15 minutes are up. That's just funny. But anyway, I like the creativity of the way that they write songs and that kind of stuff. Now there's 2 versions of this. This one is on defibrillator clear vinyl, and it is limited to 2,000 copies. So you can get the VHS black or the defibrillator clear. But anyway, just check the sticker if you're in the store and you want a specific one, okay? All right, now let me see. We've got a 7-inch of Idol's Model Village. This is from their Ultra Mono album. This particular track was like a scathing indictment of small town bigotry. Anyway, they said they don't want to play this live anymore because they're not feeling defensive or angry or scared anymore, and that's where this came from, a place of that. But so anyway, they just this has an unreleased version of Model Village on it too. Originally, like I said, from that album Ultra Mono, but they ain't going to be doing it live anymore. Okay. All right, this one is the Monophonics, Last One Standing. It's on clear vinyl, 7-inch. It's on Coal Mine Records. Not very fancy packaging, but there you go. It's a California-based band. They have tinges of like Curtis Mayfield and Al Green in their work. Okay, and sorry, just don't want to start getting coffee. Okay, this one here is Ben Pirani, and it's More Than a Memory. This one's on white label, black vinyl, but they're calling this white label. I don't know. It's still on Coal Mine Records. Okay. It's heavy dance floor vibes with punk energy, and then all of a sudden with these lush, soulful string arrangements that come in too. So it's something different. Okay, now we've got Jeff Rosenstock. This is called Ska Dream, and there is a cassette for this as well. And you might remember that he had a critically acclaimed album called No Dream, wasn't it? Keep losing my place. Yeah, okay, in 2020 he recorded No Dream, but this time around all the songs are ska. It's this remake of that critically acclaimed album, and Yeah, except all the songs are ska now. So, it says pressed on white vinyl, completely unused. That's funny. Well, anyway, we were listening to it today, and it's interesting to hear it in this form. I'm not particularly a big fan of ska, but I just thought it was clever and, a nice kind of lockdown project to just do a reworking of something that was, like I say, very critically acclaimed, and just do it over again and then put that ska spin on it. Kind of interesting. Okay, and then we have... Okay, this is Sloppy Jane, and it's called Madison. This is on blue vinyl. This is Haley Dahl, who she's a singer, lyricist, and composer, and been knocking around a long time. And at one time, I think even Phoebe Bridgers was playing bass with her, or something like that. But so they've known each other. It's Baroque art pop kind of stuff, and she's very interesting because this will make you in some ways think of things like Kate Bush and Fiona Apple. She went in with this little crappy piano here and actually went inside these real caverns. I want to say they're in West Virginia, but I'm not positive. Satisfactory Records is where this comes from, but this includes a digital download too. And I'm sorry, it was opaque blue vinyl. So it was recorded in Lost World Caverns, like literally, and that's where the cover photo was shot as well. Sorry about my big glare here. Dan, and maybe it wasn't the best place to move to today. But so anyway, you will hear like how that it sounds so different because it's being like, the songs are being played like sort of like live in this cavern, not live with an audience, but live that way with her just at this piano, and the subtle echoes. I think there's like atmospheric things like water dripping from the now am I going to say it right? There's stalagmites and stalactites. Which ones? Some come up from the bottom and the ones that go down from the top. Yeah, I'd have to check myself on that before I commit to either word, but like dripping water from those. It's all this very orchestral sound, but in this intimacy of this like tight little cavern space. So pretty interesting. And yeah, that was something kind of special. Now we've got some soundtracks for you. Okay, this one is Amarcord, and this is like a Federico Fellini movie. It's like was a masterpiece actually, and this is on Decca. And well, what does the sticker say? It says 15 tracks for the first time on vinyl, 2 LPs, 180G gatefold, includes a copy of the original Nino Rota's music sheet. It's from their Heritage collection. So anyway, Fellini fans among you, rejoice, first time on vinyl. Okay, next up we have the Matrix, and this is on clear with red and blue swirl. Now that is not blowing life, right? That's very clever. I like that. 2 LP set, the soundtrack to the original Matrix movie, and that's got stuff like I think Rob Zombie is on here. I want to say. Ministry, Marilyn Manson, Prodigy, Deftones, Monster Magnet, yay, Rammstein, Rage Against the Machine, all that. It's pretty, heavy stuff. But anyway, the soundtrack is here. And next up we have Therapy, Nurse. And this is on red vinyl. It's A&M, right? No, it's Virgin Music, sorry. I think this is a reissue from 1992, so it originally came out on A&M. It was their first major label release, and it was a departure from their like noise punk sound of like the kind of little independent stuff they put out, and this had them leaning in much more of an industrial sound, which was like a better move for them. Okay, now we have, this is the Tragically Hip, and this is the 2020 remaster of the, wait a minute, what anniversary is this? 30th anniversary of Road Apples, and they're, a Canadian rock band. There's a deluxe box version of this too that has like a extras, but you know, this one is just the straightforward remastered version of it to commemorate that anniversary. And I think, you know, everybody that's into it kind of knows what Road Apples is. It's a very beloved album by Tragically Hip, and they had, you know, one of their members, I think, had cancer and passed away, and it was a very, you know, sad thing because they were doing great, and you know, to just become so ill in the height of your career, kind of a shame, you know. All right, and now this is Travis, and this is Invisible Band. It's another anniversary thing. This one's a box, and this is the 20th anniversary of their third LP. It's a reissue, and it features this newly remastered version, but the second LP contains B-sides. Anyway, there's also 2 CDs in here. One is of the remaster, and the other is featuring those same B-sides, plus 6 previously unreleased demos. And then there's a photo book of unseen session photos and notes from the band and all that. Let's see. It features the singles Sing, Side, and Flowers in the Window. The B-sides, previously unreleased demos, live sessions, and more. Heavyweight ultra clear vinyl, commemorative book of that unseen photography. So that's from Travis. 20th anniversary. It's kind of also hard to believe that it's been 20 years for that. Okay, this now is Ben Watt. And Ben Watt, of course, used to be half of Everything But the Girl. And he released, okay, I want to get this right for you. He did an LP called Storm Damage. And this is the companion piece to that studio album. It's a it's a 6-track companion piece. And it's very stripped back piano and vocals. And it has 4 Ben Watt compositions and 2 covers. And the covers are 10 Cities house classic, That's the Way Love Is. And the other one is Sharon Van Etten's Comeback Kid. So yeah, very nice piece that, again, supposed to go along with the Storm Damage LP. This one is called Storm Shelter, if I didn't tell you that in the first place. So the companion to Storm Damage, Storm Shelter. 6 tracks. Okay, and now we have Craft Recordings. This is Paul Weller, and it's called Illumination. This one is a reissue of Paul's 6th studio album that was originally released in 2002. It features guest performances from Carleen Anderson, Jocelyn Brown, Kelly Jones, and Noel Gallagher from Oasis. It's available on vinyl for the first time. This was a UK #1 for him. Let's see, it includes the hit singles It's Written in the Stars and Leafy Mysteries. So yeah, it's got those great guests on it, and the lacquers were cut at Metropolis Studios. It's on heavyweight vinyl, and original replication of the original packaging, which is like this bespoke rounded corners. And yeah, so you can get that now too. That's pretty nice one. This, you know, it wasn't really him lighting any new fires. It was very much, you know, sticking with formula. I don't want to say formula, but after the Jam and the Style Council, he started off, you know, his solo career very successful, huge fan base, and he always was kind of trying different things. But on this was his sixth solo album, and he wasn't really breaking any new ground with this, but you know, he's beloved, and people, that's why this was a UK #1 album, because you know, that's what you want from your Paul Weller. You don't want a whole lot of change necessarily, but anyway, I think that does it for us. So now we can get started with our weekend. I hope you, again, had a wonderful holiday, and now we're really getting into it because, gosh, it's already the 3rd, so what, Christmas, that's almost like just 3 weeks until Christmas. Isn't that crazy? So, yeah, have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.